Hello, friends. This is Brother Cliff again from the Free Church, and we're going to talk today about righteousness by faith and justification by faith, because the word just means a righteous one, right? So, what is righteousness by faith? Well, there's been false teachings in the church that have totally, completely, and perverted it with this positional righteousness doctrine where you're positionally righteous in God's eyes and you're still sinning. How can that be, right? And see, faith causes you to walk in obedience, and you go from one level of obedience to another. And so it says that actually in Romans 1:16 and 17. It says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation to every one that believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek, for therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith." So what he's talking about when he says faith to faith is you increase in levels of faith as you increase in knowledge. So the greater your knowledge, and you go to a higher level of faith. But faith is a state of obedience. It says, "By whom we have received grace and apostleship for obedience to the faith among the nations for his name." So the faith teaches doctrine that requires obedience. It's like being faithful to your wife. Romans 16:26, "But now is made manifest, and by the scriptures of the prophets, according to the commandment of the everlasting God, made known to the nations for the obedience of faith." And then Romans 3:21 and 22, he talks about the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ. See, Luther and some of these other guys, they said, "Oh, we're righteous, we're declared righteous, but we're still sinners," because they believed in the sin nature doctrine, which is not removed until you go to heaven. But that's not in the Bible. Romans 3:28, "Therefore we conclude a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law." And what he's saying there is not that you don't obey the law. He says the law is not the means to becoming righteous. The means, the way to get there, is through faith. And then it says, Romans 5:1, "Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ." God bless you. Thank you for listening.